just want the news, they want the truth. What others hide, I bring to you with evidence. Politics, corruption, human rights. No filters, no fear, just facts. I don't stop until the system shakes. Hello and welcome to Trending Daily. At a time when global tensions are rising and regional conflicts continue to threaten stability, Pakistan has once again stepped forward as a responsible voice for peace and dialogue. The recent developments in Switzerland at the Lake Lucerne Summit have placed Pakistan at the center of a major diplomatic breakthrough involving the United States and Iran. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, along with Field Marshal Asim Munir, visited Bürgenstock, Switzerland, to actively participate in high-level diplomatic discussions aimed at reducing tensions and promoting long-term stability in the region. This moment reflects a new phase in Pakistan's foreign policy, where civilian leadership and military leadership are aligned in supporting peace initiatives and regional diplomacy. For many years, tensions between the United States and Iran have remained a major source of instability in the Middle East. Disputes over nuclear activities, economic sanctions, maritime security, and regional influence have created repeated cycles of mistrust and confrontation. The impact of these tensions is not limited to one region alone. It affects global oil supply chains, international trade routes, and security of key maritime passages, including the Strait of Hormuz. Against this backdrop, international concern has grown over the possibility of escalation. It was in this environment that Pakistan, together with Qatar, began playing a quiet but consistent diplomatic role focused on dialogue and prevention of conflict. Pakistan adopted a clear position that sustainable peace can only be achieved through negotiation and engagement. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif led a series of diplomatic consultations with regional and global partners. The objective was simple and consistent: to create space for dialogue between Washington and Tehran, to reduce mistrust through communication, and to encourage peaceful resolution of disputes. Pakistan worked closely with Qatar in facilitating contact between the parties and supporting the structure of indirect and later direct engagement. These efforts contributed to the signing of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding on June 17th, which became a foundation for further diplomatic progress. The visit of Field Marshal Asim Munir to Switzerland alongside the Prime Minister added an important strategic dimension to Pakistan's diplomatic engagement. His presence reflected Pakistan's unified national approach, where security leadership supports diplomatic efforts for peace. Field Marshal Asim Munir contributed to high-level discussions by reinforcing Pakistan's position that regional stability is directly linked with long-term security cooperation and conflict prevention. His participation also helped strengthen confidence among international stakeholders regarding Pakistan's ability to support sensitive diplomatic processes with credibility and balance. As head of the armed forces, he emphasized the importance of preventing escalation in regions where military misunderstandings can quickly turn into wider conflict. His engagement signaled that Pakistan's security establishment fully supports diplomatic pathways and recognizes the importance of communication mechanisms in avoiding miscalculations between states. This coordination between civilian leadership and military leadership demonstrated Pakistan's internal unity on foreign policy direction. The Lake Lucerne Summit, held in Bürgenstock, became a historic moment in recent diplomatic efforts. The summit brought together senior representatives of the United States and Iran for direct engagement, facilitated by mediating partners including Pakistan and Qatar. The American delegation was represented by Vice President J.D. Vance. The Iranian delegation was led by Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bakir Kalibaf. The first round of talks lasted around 100 minutes and focused on implementing understandings already reached through diplomatic channels, including the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. According to joint understanding of the mediators, the talks were conducted in a positive and constructive environment. This marked one of the rare instances in recent years where both sides engaged in structured, direct discussion. Following the first round of discussions, Pakistan and Qatar announced significant progress in the ongoing process. One of the key developments was agreement on establishing a high-level committee. This committee will provide political oversight to the entire mediation process. It will receive regular updates from lead negotiators and supervise technical working groups. These working groups will focus on key areas including nuclear-related concerns, sanctions, and other issues, and structured deep resolution mechanisms. The purpose of this system is to ensure that dialogue remains continuous, organized, and result-oriented. Another major outcome was the agreement on a 60-day roadmap toward a final understanding. This roadmap is designed to maintain momentum and ensure that negotiations continue without delay. One of the most important developments was the creation of a direct communication channel between the parties. This communication line is intended to prevent misunderstandings and avoid accidental escalation. It will also help ensure safe maritime passage through the Strait of Hormuz, which is one of the most important global energy routes. By improving communication, the parties aim to reduce risk and strengthen stability in a sensitive region. Pakistan's role in supporting this arrangement reflects its broader commitment to regional peace and security. Technical level discussions continued at Bürgenstock following the initial round of talks. These discussions are focused on detailed aspects of implementation, including policy coordination and verification mechanisms. Experts often highlight that technical negotiations determine the long-term success of diplomatic agreements. Pakistan and Qatar have both emphasized the importance of maintaining a constructive environment throughout this process. Another important element of the agreement was the decision to establish a de-confliction mechanism involving relevant parties and the Lebanese Republic. This mechanism aims to support reduction of military tensions in Lebanon. This reflects a broader understanding that regional conflicts are interconnected and require coordinated solutions. Pakistan's support for such mechanisms demonstrates its wider approach to peace beyond a single bilateral issue. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan has long positioned itself as a country that promotes dialogue and peaceful resolution of disputes. Its balanced relationships with multiple regional and global actors have enabled it to act as a bridge between different sides. The Lake Lucerne Summit further strengthened this role by placing Pakistan at the center of a high-level diplomatic initiative. International observers have noted that Pakistan's credibility comes from its consistent policy of engagement and neutrality in conflict situations. The visit of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir to Switzerland carries significant diplomatic weight. It signals that Pakistan is actively participating in shaping regional peace processes rather than remaining a passive observer. It also demonstrates unity between civilian leadership and military leadership in supporting foreign policy goals. This unified approach enhances Pakistan's international image and strengthens confidence in its diplomatic role. The Lake Lucerne Summit and Pakistan's participation in Switzerland represents an important moment in modern diplomacy. While challenges remain, the progress achieved so far offers hope for continued dialogue and potential long-term agreements. Pakistan's role alongside Qatar in facilitating communication between the United States and Iran highlights its growing importance as a peace builder in the region. With technical talks continuing and diplomatic channels active, the world now watches closely as this process moves forward. One message is clear: Pakistan has positioned itself as a key contributor to peace, stability, and dialogue in one of the most sensitive regions of the world. This was Trending Daily. I am Makhdoom Shahabuddin. See you in the next episode.